Ladies, do you remember I talked to you about wanting to deal with my hands? How many of you have been talking to me about what shall I do about my hands, what shall I do about my neck, and talk to me about Profhilo? Well, this is the day, impromptu. I'm here with Dr Wassim Taktouk.
Hello. Take my gloves off.
It's gorgeous. I mean, really, aren't we lucky just to be sharing the afternoon with him?
If we think about skin, we think about three components. There's collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, and those are the things that we kind of want to always keep high levels of. And as time passes, hyaluronic acid levels tend to drop and our skin loses its plumpness. And hyaluronic acid, I'm just going to call it HA because it's a mouthful, draws water in it. It's like a sponge for water, and it binds about 10,000 times its weight in water. The reason Profhilo is so great is because we're actually getting a very high quantity of it and actually delivering it into the dermis. So whatever we put on topically, whether it's through kneading, will make its way in. But we're getting very, very high doses down there. And you're talking 64 milligrams, which is a fair bit in there. If you think of your normal syringe of filler, which is hyaluronic acid as well, you're talking about between 15 to 23 milligrams, so it's substantially a lot more. What makes Profhilo different to filler is, this is my analogy, you have to think of spaghetti.
Okay.
And each of the spaghetti strands draws water.
Yeah.
Filler is overcooked, stuck spaghetti, so when it's injected, it stays in that form. Profhilo is loose spaghetti, so when you inject it, it just goes everywhere. So it just spreads through the dermis, still retaining water because the spaghetti are the sponges of water, and draws water and plumps up the skin beautifully.
I'm going to put on the numbing cream and then we'll come back to it. I put numbing cream on, well you put numbing cream on, and put it on my hands. So 2 treatments. How many weeks apart, you say?
2 treatments, 28 days apart.
28 days apart. So the first treatment, 60% of people see something straight away of just a slightly more plumped, hydrated skin. And otherwise you see it after the second one when actually it takes the 2 to work together.
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely. I'm going to do these in order of how I feel they are. Did they get... Actually, I'm just going to stop talking and stuff.
Well, you can tell us what you're doing.
So,
talk us through.
Injecting. Here's the first one. So these are called the 10 BAPs. There's 5 each side, and these injection points were designed for us to administer the Profhilo. Okay, you can see it's a very gentle rise in the skin. It bumps very slightly. This product was not formulated with anaesthetic, and that's why I put numbing cream on, just to take the edge off a fair bit.
You don't really feel anything. It's like a tiny injection.
Here's the last one on the face. 3, 2, 1. That's your face done.
Okay, and then do you have to move the product around?
No, you don't massage it, you don't touch it. It's going to do it all by itself. It's very clever.
So it literally just trickles around under your dermis.
Absolutely.
And yeah, okay.
Absolutely. So that's one.
I became vain about my face in my 30s of just taking more care, and also I had very bad acne which went when I reached 30, so it was then easier for me to have a nice skincare routine, whereas before it was always about combating my spots. But my neck is a long neck and a thin-skinned neck. I have Scottish heritage, which has sometimes quite a thin skin. And my hands too, even though my body is this tiny bit more olive than my face, I feel that, so I'm really interested for you to say how you think the neck skin is different, and if you think this treatment works as well on the neck, and if the effects,
Well, I think the skin on the neck and the hands is often neglected. You're not alone. Not neglecting it, but it ages at the same rate, obviously, but it just doesn't tend to get the amount of care that we tend to put in our faces.
If you don't hydrate well, you don't drink lots of water, does this treatment work as well?
Absolutely, because it will absorb what water is there.
Yes, but
obviously the more hydrated you are, the better the result will be, but it's not going to not work. So the results will last from 4 to 6 months.
Okay, great.
So it is something really twice a year we were talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. The regime I suggest is November, December, and that will cover you for the Christmas party season and way into the early part of the next year, and then June, July for the summer.
I'll have a whole mixture of people watching. Some people will have a vanity and a budget that will allow them to come and see you directly, and some women won't. So I also want to get a sense from you, because you will have a certain fee and other people, but if we did a from and to, like what's the least you'll probably pay for this treatment, and what could be the most one might pay for this treatment? How many does it?
Absolutely.
Can you give an indication?
Yeah, I think that Profhilo injections tend to start at around the 350 mark, and I've seen them go as much as sort of 800.
Okay. Depending on practitioner.
Yeah, depending on the experience of the practitioner, where you are.
Okay, that's good to know. The investment you might decide to put in, let's say you say to yourself, I kind of have a vague amount in the year that I feel comfortable spending on my vanity. Or on, I mean, we call it vanity, but for me it's I'm 55, I want to look in the mirror and I feel fresh, full of energy, ready for anything. And a part of that is what clothes I wear, a part of that is treatments I do, a part of that is my skincare regime, and a part of that is my makeup. And I kind of, in my head, think, what do I want to spend on those different areas?
Is this best before or after Botox?
I think I would generally, between different types of aesthetic treatments, I tend to say give it 3 to 4 weeks. Botox can take up to two weeks to really show its full effect. But either way, sometimes if you have them too close together, you don't really know what benefited your skin, and so you end up having all these treatments done, but actually it was one rather than the other. So I'd space them apart so you know what caused what, but also as a rule of thumb, need sort of 3 weeks minimum between treatments.
And now we're going to do the other.
Should we have a look at this hand?
Bumps on the hand.
On my hand. Look, I look like a foreign, like some, it's like a horror movie and some little animals are going to pop out my thing. But I'm okay with that because if my hand... Can I just say, I'm wearing nail polish first time. It's not perfectly the right colour. I wanted something really neutral. But I do have an awareness that I use my hands a lot, and when I'm filming and I'm showing you how to do makeup, my hands are really in the foreground, and I want that always to be an equal relationship. So I'm really interested to see. I nearly wanted Dr. Wassim to do one hand and not the other.
I was actually going to say that because I might want to catch up with you on Monday and we can have a look.
Why don't we do that? So I think it's a good idea.
And I'll
do
give
one
you-
hand. So if I start doing films and I'm just using one hand, you'll know why. Am I done now?
How's that? Yeah.
Because I
Yeah, so we're doing a little experiment, aren't we?
Yeah. So we're doing a little experiment.
We're going to use one
and
hand and see.
just having
Wait,
one
shoot.
hand done and not the other, which would be great. On my neck, I've done other little bumps there. Let me
you should have a
can I
look.
see in the
Let's
mirror
see in the
and just see? You can see I had one here, one there, one there, one there. So I look a little bit bumpy.
And this is the worst of it.
This is the worst of it.
It will only go down from this.
My skin usually doesn't react badly. Like when I do Botox, I don't get anything actually. So this is just because there's this hyaluronic acid that's going to just spread through my skin now. So I found that really interesting, and I'm so excited to see the result because it is something that was on my mind, and I was really excited when Teresa Tarmey said, come along to Motley Street because Dr. Wassim has just joined, and so you can find him here. We'll leave the details on the blog, but if you're desperate now, it's if you're desperate to go, it's Dr. Wassim and it's at Teresa Tarmey in Motley Street. And it's like simple treatment, took us half an hour. It was a numbing cream that took 10 minutes and then it was really quick.
Great.
Bye! Here with the delightful Dr. Wassim, and I've had the second bit of Profhilo with him. So just to see how you hardly see it, we've done it about
5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago, but this is just, documenting that full Profhilo treatment. So you have 2 sets of 5 injections about a month apart. I've done them 3 weeks apart because and I'm going to Dublin tomorrow. So just to see, so you can see it now, and then I'll do the final one in a couple of days.